I have pulled out all of my scrap yarns, my sock yarns that I could find that are not the hand-dyed skeins that I've made, that I've dyed. I know I'm missing some, but this is the majority of the scrap sock yarns, and I'm just calling them scrap even if I haven't started using them. I bought a lot of these for making baby socks. So all of these stroll are from Knit Picks, and I bought all of these for making baby socks. That's what these are. I think that's what this undyed is because it feels the same. And I'm in the process of knitting a scrap sock, and I found these yellow, bright yellow. Oh, they're like very washed out on camera. They are incredibly bright, and that's probably what I'm going to do for the toes of this sock. I was debating using white, but I like the bright better because these are just bright socks. Then I have odds and ends of my hand-dyed sock yarns here. This is some hand spun, I think, Gulf Coast that I don't think is enough to make a pair of socks, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then in the back, right there, is some really old random odds and ends. Now this goes here, I think. But yeah, in the back, right in here, is the odds and ends. I don't know what the brand is. I don't know. Some of them I got from someone else's D-stash. Some of them I bought and knit socks out of and had leftovers. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with those, but I have a pretty good start. The goal is to work through as much of this yarn as I can in scrappy socks. So far I've made 2 pair. There's the first, and then the second. I just cast this one off. I need to weave in one end and then trim the rest off. I knit the new end in with the old end, and then all I have to do is cut when I'm done. And then I've started, of course, this one, and let's see, at the point of filming this, I had knit about that much the first day, and the rest of it the next day. That was a lot of knitting in one day, but I didn't do anything but knit that day. So this is the next pair I'm working on, and then I'm probably going to tackle some of this pile next because I'm really liking the fact that I found red and gold. Those were my Gryffindor yarns. I'm really liking them. I also like the pink, and I want to do something with the pink. I really wanted to do pink and brown. I need to put the brown back in there. Okay, yeah, I think that'll be really pretty together. Brown and pink. I don't know. Okay, out of the hand-dyed yarn scraps, I have about 407 grams, and the stroll yarns, whole and partial skeins that I've counted towards this because I have more that's in a set aside for a project on the yarn shelf, and then I've got more that I bought for a specific project and I cannot find it. But this is 358 grams of the stroll, and then these random odds and ends, I have 123 grams. So there's just under 18 50-gram balls. That's just borrowing from Retro Claude, her method of measuring yarns. There's just under 18 50-gram balls of the sock yarn, scrap yarn, stashed down that I want to use up. So that's what we're doing, and I have already started, so I'll probably count this from, well, I guess I could count today, but I could always add the socks that I've knit, the weight of those, and then count all of the scrap socks, how much I've knit up. I think I will. I think I will add these in, both of these. I have to finish this one. And then add them into the grand total. I'll put that in here. And so we'll have a starting amount and an ending amount for this section. And then we'll carry that into the next section, where hopefully I can get a couple of pair done a month. I need a lot of hand knit socks. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, apparently I started this sock stash down process in May with 21 and a quarter 50-gram balls of yarn, and these were the first pair that I did. I finished these in April. I finished these during Tour de Fleece. So June and July, and July. I just knit all of the socks in July, and I've been through my sock stash, and the numbers are going to change significantly, so I'm going to have to revamp all of that. But this goes back in here. These are my thicker sock yarns, and I have 2 little bitty bits I'll throw in there. That's all. The rest of that has been used up in these and these. So these were all part of this. So I'll weigh the whole bunch, and then I'll weigh it again to see how much of that I used up. I think that's going to be the easiest. Then I dug through my box of yarn and I pulled out some yarn for Christmas socks. So I've already caked this one up while I was caking yarns, and I need to do this one. This is a gold that turned out wrong. I was going for Gryffindor gold, and I misjudged and dyed it way too dark. So, but that's fine. It's going to be a gorgeous Christmas color. And then I've got this bit of red, and if I need more red, I have a whole nother skein of it. So these 2 full skeins just added 200 grams or 4 balls of yarn to my stash, to my sock scrap stash. Then I took 50 grams. Let's see if I know what the right, white is 23 grams. Okay, so this is 23 grams. And these are each 50. It's a dark green and a red. These are my Christmas socks. These are going to be my boyfriend's Christmas socks. And, excuse me, the rest of these are, I got this little scrap. It's not quite the same purple. Almost, but not quite. Slightly darker than this one. So I've got these to use up as well, and I'm really liking these 2 together. Maybe that's what I'll do next. We'll see. But that is where the sock scraps are at the moment, and I need to pick out the next yarns for the next sock. And these go with this. Okay, but I also took one of my scraps, which is, oh, that white is 50 grams. Okay. Dark blue, I have 81 grams of this that I took out of the sock scraps, and I added it to 200 grams of light blue for the Sailor Swift top by Kitova Kika or Veronica. And so that's a knit that I want to get started as soon as I can. Seeing as how it is August, I doubt this is going to get done this summer. But that's a summer top with the pattern in the bag. I have another summer top here. It's the Sugar Brush. I don't think I have all of the pattern information here, because if there is a front page with just a picture, I don't print the picture. So this is a free pattern. I will put that information in the show notes, or either right here in the screen. Then I have another 2 dark green and a light brown. I don't know what I'm going to do with, but they seem to go together really well. And then these 2 dark brown and Christmas stripes. And then I have more Christmas stuff. And there's a whole slew of other sock yarns. I did find my spooky spooter sock yarns. So it's supposed to be orange and black and purple and black. So these are set aside for that if I decide to make more of those. And then I'm just going to move you around here. So here is my non-scrap sock yarns. There's another pattern that I want to knit. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. If I'm going to pair it with gold. Or with dark blue. I just don't know yet. I've got two of these here. I've got a gray. I've got this one, which I think would go really well with the gold. I've got a whole bunch of this light blue. So I want to knit another pair of socks from this batch. I'll turn you down here so you can see what I'm working on. I think I like these two together. And I have enough to do a pair of socks out of this. I think this is going to be my next socks from this batch. Okay, I now have all of my totals updated and everything. So I originally said I had 21.25 balls of yarn, which is exactly what I started with. That part of my math was correct. 1.5 of those was moved out of the scrap yarn and into project, this dark blue, 81 grams, about 1.5 balls. We're averaging. And then that puts us down to 19.25. And then I used 4.75 balls of wool. It's 50 grams per, so 4.75. That brings us down to 14.5. And then I added 4 because I added 200 grams from the main stash into the sock scraps. And I'm up to 18.5. So let's see if I can do the math really fast because I forgot to do this. I have used a total of 2 3/4 balls of yarn since I started this back in May. That's where the numbers are. Now, naturally, I've used up a good bit more than that, but I've added to the stash. So the number is hovering at 2.75 balls less than the original number. And as I work through these summer knits, I will end up with more scraps that I will be adding to the scrap total and then having to knit socks from that.